Hey folks, we're back. We're doing the conference tour, set up the booth here at NGconf. I'm talking to Brian Love and Kevin Schuchard. Now you both work for BrieBug, if I remember right.
I do. Yep, I'm a developer there.
And I worked there for about a year and a half. But
okay. So you moved on to other things.
Yeah, kind of going out on my own right now.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. This episode is sponsored by Sentry.io. Recently, I came across a great tool for tracking and monitoring problems in my apps. Then I asked them if they wanted to sponsor the show and allow me to share my experience with you. Sentry provides a terrific interface for keeping track of what's going on with my app. It also tracks releases so I can tell if what I deployed makes things better or worse. They give full stack traces and as much information as possible about the situation when the error occurred to help you track down the errors. Plus, one thing I love, you can customize the context provided by Sentry. So, if you're looking for specific information about the request, you can provide it. It automatically scrubs passwords and secure information, and you can customize the scrubbing as well. Finally, it has a user feedback system built in that you can use to get information from your users. Oh, and I also love that they support open source to the point where they actually open sourced Sentry if you want to self-host it. Use the code devchat at Sentry.io to get 2 months free on Sentry's small plan. That's code devchat at Sentry.io. So let's just jump right in and talk a little bit about NGconf for a minute. But before we do that, why don't you just give a little bit more of an introduction, who you are, what you're working on, especially since, you're kind of doing your own thing, and I wanted to give you a chance to plug that.
Sure.
Yep, so Kevin Schuchard here. I, like I said, work at BrieBug and have been there for a few years now, and get an opportunity to work with a lot of really good clients in the Denver area and elsewhere, and excited to be here and talking about schematics at NGconf. And I've spent the past year or so writing a couple schematics and talking on podcasts and really kind of diving deep into that and trying to share what I've learned so far with the community.
Nice.
Very cool. And my name is Brian Love, and I was also here with Kevin. We were kind of co-presenters talking about schematics, and we did a 20-minute talk, and then we did a 1-hour workshop where we actually got people to start writing schematics. And so
nice.
I'm really hopeful that that inspired a lot of people to go out and start contributing to the community to write schematics for either third-party libraries or for their company or their organization, and really start to see that, hey, you know, this is something that I can leverage in my tool belt as an Angular developer.
Yeah, I love the idea of schematics, mostly because I'm a huge proponent of automation and standardization.
Yep.
And you get both.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's exactly
it's a
right.
big deal.
Man. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's a code generation tool, right?
Yep.
So it allows you to generate code, modify code, and then you can use that for all kinds of purposes, right? And so one purpose can be, you know, architecture and enforcing best practices and standardization. So, yeah.
Yep. So what's the 2-minute version of your workshop?
So the 2-minute version of the workshop is, you know, we start everybody at ground zero, right? So you've got to start by installing a schematic CLI. So you don't use the Angular CLI to actually get started with schematics. There's another CLI called the schematic CLI. And so once you install that, then you can generate out a new blank project. So, and this is going to be crazy, you're going to use schematics to generate out a new schematics project. Like,
makes sense,
right?
Totally.
And so then once you do that, we kind of took them through a Hello World example, introduced them to the tree, which is kind of this virtual file system that you can use to create and read and update files. And then what did we do after that, Kevin? Remind me.
Yeah, so then we kind of took them out of the CLI and brought them into an approach that we've come up with called the sandbox. So everyone usually runs into the problem where I've written the schematic, now how do I test it? I want to run this against a project, right? And so we've kind of packaged a lot of ideas together in some scripts, essentially, and you basically run it against a version-controlled Angular application. So you can see the visual diff as you apply these changes over and over and over again.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it went really well. And a lot of people came up to us afterwards and said, hey, this is really great. I've wanted to know more about schematics, but there's not a lot of information out there. And you guys actually distilled this down to a level where I was able to get started with it. And I have a very small taste of kind of the power and what I can do with schematics. So yeah, so we had a great morning. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. So that was today?
That was today, yeah. Yep. Back to back pretty much.
Nice. And I guess the other question I have is they recorded it, right?
I assume so.
Okay.
Yes.
There were cameras pointed at us.
There was cameras, so yep.
There you go.
So I think
you're famous on YouTube.
Awesome.
Yeah, 80 million views, right? So
At
Instantly,
least.
overnight, right?
Yeah. You're the new sensation
Yes.
on YouTube.
Yes.
Very cool. So, I'm a little curious. In general, is this your first NGconf? Have you guys been before?
Yeah, I kind of give you a little backstory for me, anyways. So my first NGconf was in 2016, and then I came back in 2018. So this is my third NGconf.
Right.
And I loved my first experience at NGconf. I've been doing development and engineering for 15 years now, and I've been to conferences like Adobe Max, Google I/O, just really tons and tons of conferences all over the country in the last 15 years, and there's something really unique and special about NGconf, and I think part of that is the Angular community and the people that come here to NGconf. But I think a big part of it is also, the organizers and the environment that they set up here at NGconf. And it's a great conference, man. I love it. Every year I look forward to coming back.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I don't think I could have said any better. I mean, this is my second year. Last year was my first as an attendee, and then very, very blessed and honored to come back the second year as a speaker.
Wow, you rise fast.
I was lucky. Well, I got to hop.
He's
on
a smart dude.
I got to hop on the train with Brian. So, wrote it in together. But yeah, very, very lucky.
You came in on the train?
Well, Brian and I did our presentation together. So
okay.
we came to NGconf and did that as a team. So. But yeah, second year here, and just like Brian said, this is such an amazing conference. If you've never been, I can't recommend it enough. All the presenters, the presentations, the workshops, all the fellow developers, and it's a great opportunity to get inspired and learn some new things.
Nice. So what's the best part then of the conference?
That's a really good question. I think for me, there's two things that I love most about NGconf.
It's the space lights over there, right?
The space lights?
Yeah.
Those are cool.
The portals?
Those are cool.
Yes.
But honestly, I kind of really like the single track feel that NGconf does, which is, I think, unique to a lot of conferences. Most conferences you come in, you have a keynote, and then everybody just kind of goes everywhere else.
It depends on the size of the conference, but a conference the size of NGconf, it is unique.
Single track, it's so cool. I love it. And being all in the room, and then immediately afterwards, this is what I love about it, is everybody just got this really sweet talk by whomever, John Papa or whatever, and everybody comes out, and then it's the whole track, man. It's all about like, oh, wow, you can do that. I didn't know this. This is really fantastic. I got to go out and learn about this. And so I think those are the two things that I like most about NGconf.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing is the hallway track, right? I mean, these presentations are amazing, but oftentimes you learn something online, like a video or you read an article, and you're kind of just like left there like, I'd really like to, I wish I could talk to this person. I wish I could, can I reach out and maybe I'll DM them and hear back in 2 weeks, or maybe I won't. And here you walk up to them at the end, right? Or you grab them in the hallway and you say, hey, I loved it. Can you tell me more? Like that's unparalleled.
Yeah, and it's funny because I go to conferences and I'll sit in. I think my best record over the last 3 to 5 years is probably I've gone to half the sessions, right?
Right.
That's pretty good.
And it's because, it's the hallway track. It's the people. It's, hey, what are you doing? And what are you struggling with? What are you learning? What should I be doing?
Yeah.
And I went to a podcasting conference in February.
Oh, cool.
And I went to, they had a workshop day for doing video on YouTube. And so I went to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to one other session, and it was not the keynote session. And it was the session that my friend was doing, and I specifically told him that I was there to heckle him.
Just sat in the front row.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks at me. He's like, "Can you take some pictures of me speaking?" I'm like, "Yes, but it will cost you." But yeah. So the rest of it was just talking to people and getting ideas and seeing where people are struggling. Yeah. I mean, here it's amazing because I went to lunch and I'm sitting by some folks. And so, what do you do? Where do you work? And more than half the people I talk to, we're still using Angular JS, and we're either in the process of upgrading or we're trying to figure out how to upgrade, or, and we're kind of in this situation, and it's like, oh, well, I wouldn't have expected to hear that come in here, but and so it's that kind of interaction, and it's like, where are people at, and what can I learn from them, and I love it.
Yeah. And especially if you're not sure, like, am I doing things in my company quote the right way, or people experiencing the same thing I am, you're going to find people here that are on the same track as you are.
Yeah.
Experiencing the same problems, or maybe you've even solved them.
Yeah, and you say quote the right way. I'm not convinced that it's the right way so much as is there a better way?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what are you guys working on now?
So I'm working kind of on a contract project right now that's an Ionic mobile application. We're using XPlat, which is a cross-platform schematic built on top of the Angular CLI for doing cross-platform development from a company called InStudio. Yep. And so we have a monorepo with an Angular web application, which is mainly just an administrative application to administer the mobile version, right? And then it's an Ionic application that's deployed to iOS and Android. And then we're using Nest.js, or I guess it's just Nest now. I feel like when I go to the website now, it's just called Nest. So and then we're using Nest on the back end for the API, and then MongoDB for persistence. And so it's been a fun project. It's been really enjoyable to learn about doing cross-platform development with XPlat. So
cool.
Yeah, and I'm working for a great company just north of Denver called DigitalGlobe. So I've been there for a little while now, and it's kind of timely with the space theme here because they do amazing satellite imagery. So they have several satellites in space, and we're working on some UIs that actually command and control them and, monitor all the procedures and tasks. And so it's really exciting working there.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm digging the whole space thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really neat this year.
Nice. So, was there a session that you sat through that you really liked, or I shouldn't say sat through? Was there a session that you really enjoyed? For me, I sit through sessions.
Right. I mean, anytime the Stack Blitz team gets up on stage, you're always in for a treat. So
yeah, definitely.
Always enjoy.
Yeah, they were all wearing astronaut getup, and
yes,
that was crazy.
Those guys are so funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe they're going to send a server into space.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what the server's going to do out there. Just kind of float. I mean, I'm not sure.
It's going to have web stuff on it.
Exactly. Sounds like you know about as much about it as I do. No, I thought that one was good. I thought the talk, the A is for Angular one. Did you see that one?
I didn't. I keep hearing about it. People keep talking about it.
That was amazing. She did such a good job. Like, it was comical. It was fun. It was brilliant. All in the same moment. I mean, for a lightning talk, and it was obviously very different than traditional lightning talk.
Right.
But man, that was really cool. And I definitely liked Sam Julien. I thought he did a great job talking about how to convince your boss to upgrade. I really like Sam and the stuff that he's doing in the community. And so, those were definitely fantastic talks in my opinion.
Nice.
I like the lightning talks. Like more and more, at our meetups, we used to do like the 50-minute talk. I'm like more and more, I'm just like 10 minutes, 20 minutes max. Like you only have my attention for a limited amount of time, and these deep dive talks, like workshops are great because I think it's more hands-on, but sitting there for 50 minutes with cold pizza in my hand at a meetup, I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm ready to kind of move
change
on.
Gears.
Change gears. And so I really like that format, and I like that they do 20-minute talks here and then the 10-minute lightning talks because it's just fast and you get a lot of good information and maybe not as deep of a dive, but you get those quick tidbits and you're just like, oh, that's a great idea. And you're not going to walk out of NGconf with like a head full of massive amounts of knowledge. You're going to walk away with inspiration and with ideas, and you're going to go back and you're going to say, hey, this is really neat. We should learn more about this, or we should think about using this, or whatever it is.
Yep.
So
for several years, I was involved in Toastmasters, and most of the talks are 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And boy, that makes you get to the point really quick.
Yeah.
Tell me what you got. I don't need a 10-minute intro slide and an agenda and all this. Like, come on, let's just get right to the meat of it and let's talk about something that you really enjoy and that you want to tell me about.
Yeah. When I was talking to Jesse about Angular Denver,
Yep.
He's like, yeah, we're going with 25-minute talks. And I'm like, that's awesome. Because, what I want is I want to walk away with this, thirsty to learn more, right?
Correct.
Yep.
I think that's inspiring people is where it's at. It's not about teaching somebody.
Yeah.
Unless it is a workshop.
If it's a workshop, that's a different
yes,
animal.
it's a different animal. That's like, open your laptops. Let's dive into this. Let's practice. Let's take some time for exercises. Let's get some keyboard time together. But a 50-minute talk, man. Oof.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
those
rough.
smaller talks help open it up to more diverse and newer speakers, because
Yeah.
as a new, if you're a first-time presenter, like stepping up to the plate for 50 minutes worth of content, that's a tall order, right? And if you could say, you know what, we're all just doing 15-minute talks.
I'm long-winded, so a 15-minute talk is easier for me than a 10-minute
Then a
talk.
10-minute talk. Yeah. No, lightning talks can be tough.
Yeah, the 10-minute talk, I feel like I don't even have time to tell them, I only have 10 minutes. This is going to be real fast.
Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Triplebyte. Applying to programming jobs sucks. You have to put the right keywords in your resume. You spend hours and hours on the phone screens and take-home projects, and that's assuming the company even responds to your application. Well, if you're a software engineer, Triplebyte can help. They work with over 400 top tech companies, from big names like Dropbox and Adobe to exciting startups. You do one brief online interview with them, and if you do well, you go straight to final interviews with the company on their platform. It's like the Common App for software developers. Triplebyte does not look at your resume or where you went to school. All they care about is if you can code. I've helped dozens of software developers with various credentials get jobs, and this looks like a terrific way for you to get in and get interviewed and get a job without a lot of the hassle and overhead. You can go check them out at triplebyte.com/astory. That's triplebyte.com, byte as in 8 bits. As a special offer for listeners of this show, if you take a job through Triplebyte, they'll offer you a $1,000 signing bonus. So, Kevin, what talks did you enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, A is for Angular was great. I liked, I'll say awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
awesome. It's awesome.
Is it awesome? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That was a great talk. Really interesting. I've kind of followed some of that stuff around a little bit with the machine learning, and I think that's gonna change a lot.
He spoke about that at Framework Summit as well. And
He did. That's right. Yeah, the TensorFlow. And,
yeah.
Yep.
TensorFlow, and then they have TensorFlow JS, which I'm just like, nice.
Yes.
I don't have to go learn Python. I can do it in a language that I'm passably familiar with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Get it working at least.
Yeah.
And then the keynotes are always great. You know,
Always.
getting to hear from the core team here is
Yeah.
really inspiring and great to just hear that firsthand information.
Yeah, that's really my only complaint from year to year, is that a few years ago they basically doubled it from like 700 people to like 1,500 people, and we probably got like 2,000 people. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's grown a little bit since then too. And with 700 people, you still had a much more reasonable chance of running into core team members and being able to chat with them.
Yeah.
And now it's not that they're so busy that you can't find them.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more people here, and it just makes it a little bit harder to serendipitously run into them in the bathroom or something.
Yeah. What I found, and I've never done this actually. So as a speaker, we get assigned a time that we have to go to what's called the Ask Me Anything area, which I don't even know if I knew it existed before. But we went there, and I mean, Rob, Igor.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and they're all hanging out, and like, if you want to ask, like the Angular team questions about, hey, what do you think about this, or how do I share components in my application, or what's the strategy around this particular routing or whatever, boom, right there. I mean, that's the place to go. So I would encourage anybody that's here at the conference or whatever, go up there and just hang out. Honestly, there's only like 15, 20 people up there, and I think that's a kind of a unknown, amazing secret here at the conference.
Well, they do a lot of that on Fair Day, which is Thursday every year, and there are a lot of other things to do. I think like one year they had like an escape room. They had, you could go to a couple of other places in Salt Lake and go do stuff. And so, yeah, some people are taking advantage of the opportunity to kind of do something different or interesting.
Right.
But yeah, if you've got a burning question, yeah, they're there. And they also used to do office hours throughout the whole conference. And I don't think they do that anymore. But the years that they did that, a lot of those speakers, they'd be in that room alone. And so if you wanted one-on-one with Brad Green or John Papa or somebody, you could basically get it.
That's cool.
Right.
And so,
that's worth a lot.
Yeah, the Ask Me Anything is not far off from that. And most of these speakers, you just if you have something where you need to sit down and demo something or something, you essentially just hang out until they're done, and then you say, hey, do you have 10 minutes? And they'll sit down with you with your laptop and bang it out with you. So
yeah, I mean, after we did our schematics talk, we sat down with a guy, and he was kind of like asking some questions. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, and he was, but it was great just to get to hang out with him and stuff. And man, all the speakers and the core team and everybody, they're just so willing to engage with you and to just offer their help. So I love it.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I am looking forward to trying to think of the guy's name. I should know this.
What does he do?
He's going to be talking about ArcsJS. He's an Angular GDE.
Latke?
No, that's not the one. I'll look it up. Well, you can answer the question, and then I'll come back. I'll look it up.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really even looked ahead at the schedule for tomorrow yet.
Have you been busy, Kevin?
Yeah,
we were up until
that's how
11?
I live at the conferences, even when I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
What's going on today? Oh, that one. I wanted to go to that one.
Yeah. Of course, we had two events today, so we were up a little bit last night getting things ready. So, but just looking to attending the conference without anything to do, just sitting back and taking it all in.
Yeah, it'll be nice to just kind of relax.
I know. Aren't you glad you're not speaking at 4:00 tomorrow or something?
Yeah, Aaron's got the last slot. I was like, dude, that sounds horrible. I've had that slot at a conference, and you're just like, oh my gosh, you're like chugging coffee at 3:00. You're like, I gotta stay energized. I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
it's a tough spot to have.
Yeah,
but no,
you watch another talk and they do something cool at 2:00, and you're like, I need to change all my slides.
You'll do this all over again.
We're gonna have to change something. The one that I was thinking was the Before NGRX Superpowers with ArcsJS and Facades by Thomas Burleson.
Yeah,
I am very much looking forward to looking at that. I am a huge fan of ArcsJS. I've done a lot with NGRX over the last 2 years, and I definitely enjoy using it where appropriate, but I certainly think that in some of the projects, even that I did, like maybe it didn't need NGRX. And so I'm interested in seeing what he has on ArcsJS and Facades, because I just love ArcsJS and the power that it has and how built in it is to Angular. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people, too, they get into Angular and they kind of go down the happy path, and then they start thinking, okay, what do I need to do to become a power user? And everybody goes, learn RxJS.
Yep.
Because it's core to everything.
Yeah, it's so powerful. And I think Ben is speaking tomorrow as well on RxJS. So he's a core kind of contributor to RxJS, Ben Lesh. And so I'm very much excited to have some knowledge dump on RxJS from him, man, because he is super smart. So
and they're doing an RxJS conference in Las Vegas this summer.
Yes, right. RxJS Live, right? Aaron Frost is putting that on.
Aaron Frost and Joe Eames, I think, are involved in that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That should be great.
Yeah, I would love to get out there and go.
I think I need to bring my podcasting booth and continue the conference tour there.
That would be fun. You should, man.
That one I can drive to, so I just put it in the back of my truck and go.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's keep this thing on the road.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else that you want to talk about? Anything that you've been doing or working on that you think people should know about?
I mean, I can't think of anything. I've been just really busy. So Aaron and I did a 2-day Angular fundamentals kind of workshop. And
yeah, I saw that on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, and that was really a lot of fun. It's so awesome to be able to meet people that are just so fresh to Angular and being able to like kind of take them through that learning journey of getting comfortable with Angular and the CLI and components and all this stuff. And I just really was inspired by their desire to learn more. And so that was really a lot of fun to me, and a huge opportunity to get to meet them and to help them kind of learn Angular and take that back into their communities and their organizations.
Cool.
Yeah. I got another boy coming on the way next month, so
that's right. Number 2.
Yeah. My wife's been very gracious to let me do all this prep work for NGconf. And
she was going to come out. right?
She was,
Which
she
I
was
couldn't
singing
believe
on
when
it.
you told me. I was like, wait, she's like 8 months pregnant. She's gonna fly out to Salt Lake.
It was safe. We checked with the doctors multiple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been putting a lot of time to that. So I'm looking forward to
I imagine.
switching things off for a bit and welcoming our son and
yeah.
spending some family time with everyone.
Yeah, congratulations, man. I hope everything goes well.
Thank
This
you.
is 2 of what, 20 kids you're going to have?
This might be 2 of 2.
People usually say that, after the baby's been around for a month or 2, and it's like, I haven't slept in years.
Yes, we were super lucky with our first. He was very easy, so we're preparing for the worst because
You just never know. It
Yeah.
could go the other way, right?
It could go the other way.
Yeah, they're all different. I have 5 of them, and they're all on the 3rd floor right now. So
Oh, awesome, man.
Nice.
Hanging out doing the NG kids?
yeah, they're doing the NG kids, and
Sweet.
my 3-year-old is in the NG daycare.
Okay.
And so when we're done, and I have to be up there in like 20 minutes because they want us to pick them up by 6, but I think I'm going to bring them down here, and we're going to do one of these with them and talk to them about NG kids.
Dude, that would be so
That's
fun.
And then we're going to go get dinner and go home.
That's cool. I don't know of a conference that does that. The daycare and the NG kids.
I've seen a few of them. Microsoft Build, I'm going there next week, and I got an
Okay.
email from them saying that they're offering daycare.
Okay. That's so cool. I love that they're welcoming to families and spouses.
I don't know if they offer the
Like-
coding class, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice. So my wife is at a conference this week as well, today and tomorrow.
Aha. So that makes it
And,
tough.
and she goes every year. It's the BYU Women's Conference. It's for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
And so all the church leaders come down and talk to the women at the conference, and they stream a whole bunch of it. But
Nice.
every year, she and her sister and her mom go, and they rent an Airbnb for 2 nights.
Nice.
And so basically, they stayed at our house last night, and they're staying at the Airbnb tonight.
That sounds like a
But
really nice time.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to be here unless they offered
the
something for the
daycare.
kids,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I probably could have. My sister lives less than a mile from me, and she probably could have taken my kids, but she's got 5 kids of her own, and one of
That's a
them's a
handful.
newborn.
Gotcha.
So she's got like a 1.5-month-old, and so it's just it's tricky. I have a lot of family around, and I probably could have made it work, but yeah, it was nice for me to be able to just sign them up for NG kids and
Yeah, it's really cool.
bring them up. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but they're having a great time, and so that I agree with you. And a lot of people are like, well, it helps promote the diversity and for moms, and I'm just like, I'm turning 40 this year, so I'm a 40-year-old white dude, and I'm bringing my kids, right? And it just, it's for everybody,
Yes.
People are just in a position where it's the only way they can come, and so having it as an option is terrific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's really cool to see all the kids here too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ran into somebody else who's here from Utah, and because he lives in a suburb that's closer than I am to Salt Lake, right? And I was like, oh, brought the family, huh? He's like, well, the other kids are at NG Kids, and
Yep.
his youngest and his wife were here just hanging out with him. He's
Nice.
like, I get to see him this way, right? Yeah, so it's really nice if you have the option.
Yeah.
And I guess some of the other kids are from out of state. Like people
really
came
cool.
in, came into town and just brought their family.
That's awesome. Yeah, make it a family experience. I love it.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming, guys. Kevin, why don't you tell people real quick how to find you online?
You can find me on Twitter. It's just my full name, Kevin Schuchard, or same thing for the website, kevinschuchard.com.
Nice. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, same thing. I'm on Twitter at Brian_love, and I tweet mostly about Angular and web technologies, occasionally a funny meme or two. And I do a lot of blogging on my website, brianflove.com. So, yeah, check it out.
Nice. And you said you're pretty busy now, but if people are looking for a consultant, do they just find you at brianflove.com?
That's right. Yeah, so go to brianflove.com. I've got a link on the left that says Hire Me, and I'd love to hear about your project and how I can help you. I've been doing Angular for a long time, architect level stuff. Been working with a lot of large clients in Denver and the Front Range, dealing with big enterprise applications and helping them through solving some of their issues. So I'd be happy to work with you and see if we can make your application work awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
can't vouch for Brian enough. So if you're thinking about it, reach out.
Yep.
appreciate
and then
that, man.
If you need a larger team or whatever, Kevin works for BrieBug, and they also do consulting and training and all that stuff. And you can go listen to when I talk to Jesse, who's the CEO of that company, and find out what they're about and how to get them. Cool.
For sure.
Well,
All
thanks
right.
for this opportunity, man. I
Yeah,
really
thanks.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right.
Cool.
Bandwidth for this segment is provided by CacheFly, the world's fastest CDN. Deliver your content fast with CacheFly. Visit CacheFly.com to learn more.